What I want to tell you at the very beginning of this meeting is that all your blocks, barriers, all your problems, all your discomforts, all your dissatisfactory moments, all the moments that are difficult, not possible to withstand, not possible to understand, not possible to live through, all those moments are the moments where the biggest opportunities and the biggest possibilities are born. It's really hard to believe it, I know. It's really hard to take it in, I know, I have been there too. And also I know that if you decide, I'm not going to be there, I'm not going to stay there for longer than 5 minutes, if you can make that decision, it all changes. I had those moments when I was totally blocked. I had those moments when I was totally paralyzed. I had those moments where I couldn't say a word. I couldn't say anything. I was stressed. I was completely not communicative. All my past was silent. I was not saying much to anyone. I was not talking a lot. I was not using my voice a lot. I hated it. I really hated it. I was really afraid of that. I was really paralyzed when any communication was ahead, when any communication was to be experienced by me. And it took me really several years. And it was so funny because out of that discomfort, my language school was born. So again, that was another stop in my life where I decided, okay, there is the area where I can develop. There is the area where I want to be better. There is the area where I would like to feel more ease. There is the area where I would like to feel more confident, happier, more joyful, more expansive. There is the area where I know there is something hidden behind that discomfort. So I had been teaching English really for years, and then I stopped. Why? Because that was the moment where my body was not agreeing with many decisions of mine. I started being ill. I started being really weak. I started having problems with surviving. And that was really crazy because all my life was perfect and everything that was going on was really fantastic when observed from the outside. And I had everything. I had money, I had a job, I had 2 kids, I had a house, I had everything. I was kind of happy, and that kind of is a very important phrase. I was kind of happy. I was kind of satisfied. I was sort of fulfilled. I was kind of rich, kind of healthy, kind of joyful, but that kind of was really uncomfortable. And that's how all my journey started. I mean, the real journey. And what is the real journey? Why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about my past? And why am I talking about the English language? The English language, because this is the meeting within the project that we call Language Gym, English Language Gym. I just want to show you some background for some reason. I will explain a bit later. So first of all, let me repeat that all those discomforts that you might be experiencing at the moment, being in this program, all of those, they definitely lead to something. All of those, they definitely lead to some new solutions. They definitely lead to some new opportunities, new possibilities, new paths, new everything. And if you think that you have come here for learning English only, you are immensely mistaken because it does not matter what you are learning, really the subject, it really does not matter. What matters is what's the energy behind it. So if you realize what is your why, if you ask that question and answer that question very honestly, really get to that answer that is really deep in your heart, you will know where this path is leading you. I would say energetically. You will not know exactly to what events, to what situations, to what people, to what money, to what reality, but you will know where you're going. And when you know where you're going energetically, this path will really show itself to you in that very soft and easy way. That will show you something that probably you don't even expect. So ask yourself that question, please. What has actually brought me here, apart from learning the English language? Some of you, thank you very much for writing some comments on the group. Some of you have been writing about ease, about the feeling of freedom, about that dynamic energy that has started flowing into your life. And that's so great. I'm so grateful for those comments, because this is what I am feeling when I'm doing this. And if I were to be really honest, I don't like teaching English. I don't like it. What I really love doing, I love working with this energy. I really love that. So when some people ask me, what are you doing? When my mom asks me what I'm doing, I tell her I teach English, because she's afraid of energy. When some people who are a bit more into self-development and, you know, those areas, when they ask me, what are you doing? I'm just telling them I'm playing with energies in different fields. One of those fields is languages. One of those fields is money. So these are my favorite areas where I am operating. Why? Because these are those two areas that have opened the gates to the world for me as a Polish person. So maybe if you get to that energy behind your choice to come to such a program, all those paths that will show up to you, all those paths that will unfold under your feet, all of those will be leading you softly towards your goals. I'm sure, I'm really sure. I place great trust in you. So I could use the phrases again and again. I know them by heart. I know all those phrases by heart. I could just quote them for you. And I have just read them a couple of times. And this is what I believe you can create in your lives. You can create that formula, I would say. You can get to this formula in your life that when something new shows up, you instantaneously, let's say, remember it. You instantaneously install this in your world, in your universe. This is, I call it that, that thing that shows up, that new piece of information, is something that you decide whether you want to welcome this or not. But the formula is something that is so natural to us, is that whatever new shows up, it's natural for you to just welcome this in your space and have access to it later on. So people call it retention. When something new shows up, when you just receive it and you keep it for you. So yesterday, during those moments during our podcast, when I was telling you that you should actually have a kind of deal with yourself. Just tell yourself that whatever pieces of language that I will come into contact with, they will just stay with me. And I can tell you that this really is a very serious deal. And it really works. So all those things that I've been telling you throughout those 10 days, this is not theory. This is something that I have experienced in my life. This is something that I have experienced as really fantastic, phenomenal, real situations. And going back to that energy behind your choice to come to this program, because my intention is not teaching you English. It's not my intention, not at all. Definitely your intention is different than learning English. You would never show up here because this is not my intention to teach you. This is not my intention. So maybe you think that your intention is learning English, but it's not, because it's not mine. So the only possibility, the only real thing that has happened is you showed up because there was some common vibration in my and your world. And my message, my intention is not teaching you English. I'm not teaching. I am being this. So maybe your intention is different. And believe me, I've been working with thousands of people really who wanted to learn English, who wanted to be taught. And some of them were not successful because they wanted to learn, because they wanted to be taught. I have never been teaching English. I've never done that. I don't like it. I hate it. So some people say, you're crazy because it's not true because you're a teacher. Yes, I am a teacher, but I'm not teaching. I am being the things that I want to share with people, and I'm being the energy I want to kind of influence people with. So maybe you coming to clarity about your intention will help you a lot with your English, because it's nothing else but the energy. It's nothing else. It's just the energy that is just flowing through you, and you express it with the help of your beautiful body. That's it. And when you do it and people call it English, it vibrates in this way. If you do it and people call it German, you vibrate in a different way. If you do it and people call it Polish, it's different. You vibrate different. But you know, it's still in every single language. It's just being some energy and letting your body express it. And because languages have the pronunciation, have that way they are pronounced, have that way they are expressed, we kind of get used to it. Our bodies get used to it. Some people who have very strong points of view about their inability to use, for example, the English language, some of them have points of view that are so strong that they are really difficult to change, even for themselves. Those people, when they let the English language in to their lives, those people suffer. Those people are in pain. Those people are irritated, are frustrated, are depressed. And that means only one thing, that they hold on to some very strong points of view that are not true. And that's it. Nothing else. That's why I put on one of my lists, I put that question, how long have you been holding on to this? So the question is, some people ask, that's one of the questions, do we have to know what our barriers are? No, we don't. We don't. It depends how intense we like to be, and it depends how much we love energy flowing through our body. It depends on our level of, I would say, that energetic awareness, that susceptibility to those signals, energetic signals that come to our bodies, because some people are very sensitive, and some people really, when they start learning something new, they are just in pain because when they let the energy flow, it destroys all those very strong, strict points of view on the way. And that's why when I am talking to people who experience those, let's say, language barriers, I just tell them, if you feel discomfort, just thank God that this discomfort has just showed up, because this is the proof that the energy is flowing. And some people say, I'm stuck. It's not true. The energy is flowing. It just destroys everything on the way. It destroys all the limitations on the way. So imagine that from now on, when you come into contact with the English language and you experience that discomfort, because you will. I do sometimes. And I'm not a native speaker. I'm a Polish person. And sometimes I do not understand everything when people have strange, weird accents. And it's life. in the same way, I do not understand Polish people that have very strong, strange and weird accents, and it's all right. When you feel those moments of discomfort, just tell yourself, oh, the energy is flowing. That's so cool. The energy is flowing. I will just let it flow. I will just let it flow, and that's it. And that's it. But people go into interpretations. People go into, I've been doing this for years, and I'm not successful. I've learned so many pieces of vocabulary, I do not remember everything. Of course you do not remember everything. Do you remember what you were eating 10 years ago for breakfast? You don't. You don't. It's not necessary. So is it necessary for you to remember everything? It's not. You would get crazy. That uncomfortable place that people are experiencing is the thing I really want to address now. I've got some questions from you that were put on the group at the very beginning of the program. And some people were kind of complaining that I do not understand everything. And the comment in my weird mind was, me neither. I don't understand everything. I'm just not creating drama out of it. It's all right. I don't understand everything. My question to you is, do you understand all the people around you? Do you understand what people are doing around you? Do you understand your family? Do you understand your kids? Do you understand the politics? Do you understand the prime minister? Do you understand God? Do you understand the world? Do you understand the universe? And every single question I've asked, the answer to it is no. So why is it such a fucking problem that you do not understand English? Why is it? Can you see it? Can you see how great those blocks become? It's crazy. It's really crazy. Why is it so crazy? Because all the people on the globe want English. It's a global desire. Can you believe that you are participating in the global stream of global desire? We want English. Why do people want English? Because it's a global language. It's a global language. And I would say it's natural. Imagine that someone would say, I need air to breathe. Would it be strange for you? No, you're breathing right now. You cannot stop it unless you want to just drop dead, right? But you're breathing, and nobody creates drama out of it because it's kind of global. Breathing is global. There are many global things, and speaking English is a global thing. Speaking English is something that is so popular, so regular at schools, so normal, so obvious, so reality. And because it's a global stream, and because so many people do it, and because so many people have ease with it, all those individuals, we sometimes do it, all those individuals who stand in the way and they say, I cannot do it, they are just blocking a huge potent stream of desire. And it's not surprising that they are frustrated and they are just knocked down by the stream. So don't block it, don't stop it. It's a global desire, and it's normal. It's exactly the same as the global desire to breathe. So what I'm saying to people at the very beginning, for me, English is not very important. I just like it. I just like it. I started studying it by accident. Someone is sharing the screen with us. Oh yeah, right. Maybe that was something important. I'll just stress it. I just want to stress it very strongly. English is not at all important to me. I just like it. And some people, when they come for classes, for courses, for workshops, they say, I have to learn it. Then I will be promoted. I have to learn it because I want to travel. I have to learn it because blah, blah, blah. This is not your real why. This is not your real why. Your real why, your real intention is somewhere else. My real why is I like it. I like being in this energy. It's great. It's working for me. It's working to my advantage. It loves my body. It just takes care of me. You know, when I'm immersed in this energy, I'm happy. So can you please notice that? Because this is my intention. Maybe there is a possibility this is your intention too. You would never show up in my program if you weren't this energy. If you didn't have this energy in you, if this energy was not part of your universe. Can you please acknowledge that? Thank you very much. Let me read some questions. Okay. Oh yeah, thank you very much. I think Monica is writing. I would like to say that the English language for me has become a platform for a different vibration. It's exactly this thing. This is exactly the same with me. For me, it's a different vibrational platform. It's a platform for different creation, for different vibration, for different generation, for everything different. It's just different, vibrates different. And I like the vibration and my body likes the vibration. Monica writes, this is a very good comment. I was knocked out after 2 first days of recordings. She had a lot of very strong feelings in the body, very strong sensations in the body, and a lot of awarenesses what her life really looks like. So thank you, Monica, for sharing that. And she wrote one more important thing, but it's amazing how strongly we are all connected and how many things really connect us, and how few things really separate us. I love Monica generally, but what she's discovering on the way and her readiness to discover stuff really amazes me. So thank you, Monica. And truly, for me, thank you for saying that. For me, that energy behind, that global energy behind the English language, it is just showing me the same thing that Monica has just said, that so few things really divide us. So few things really separate us. And so many things really connect us. And that global vibration of this language, but it's not about the language. It's a tool to communicate globally. And when I look at my life, there are a couple of things that really have created a lot of ease in my life. And language was number one, because I started from it. This is what I remember. I started from it. Then it transformed in many different things. But I know that it was just a vibration. As Monica said, that new platform to create something different. And the second thing that I can absolutely see, and I understand that this really is a global tool, is money. And some people quarrel with money. Some people have so strange opinions, very strong and strange and weird opinions about money. And I'm just saying, this is the language of this world. And people can say, no, it's not. Love is the language of this world. Of course, love is the language of this world, but money too. They just vibrate differently. And we have so many languages. We have so many tools to communicate globally. Love is a global energy too. And it's a fabulous, fantastic, amazing energy. And can you imagine, can you just think about this for a while, how all these energies are glued together in a way. They create this global mix. And if we have this, I would say, very positive point of view that we have so many languages to talk global about what we want to create here: love, money, languages, many, many other things. So if you look at all of that stuff in that way, we can say nothing is more powerful than me, right? This is our first phrase, but this is true. I mean, all those texts, all those phrases that I wrote, this is what I think. This is just my seeing, my perspective on the world, and because it's true, because it's authentic, it's a potent stream of energy, and this is probable or possible, or maybe this is certain and sure, that you'll have some similar points of view about the world. And let me go back to another question. The question is, why English is the global language? It could be any other language, exactly. Maybe in the future, we will be Chinese. What is your awareness? Will it be Chinese? No, it won't. It will never be Chinese. Do you know why? Why not Chinese? Maybe if English was non-existent, it could be Chinese. Maybe. Maybe if English was non-existent, it could be Russian. Maybe if English was non-existent, it could be Spanish. Maybe Polish, maybe. But it's English, and its energy is dominant. And that's a fact. Don't quarrel with the fact. So some people learn different languages, and it's so cool because there are many people of different nationalities. It's great that we learn different languages, but it's a fact that English is a global language. And if you look at people who work globally, if you look at people who create globally, who are global beings, as I call them, what do they have in common? What do they have in common? What is something that really connects them? What is it? People who create on a global scale, who are visible globally, people who create, and I'm not talking about businessmen only, politicians and celebrities. No, I'm talking about people who have those gates to the world open, people who just live energy, of course, being open-minded, of course, those people, the people I know that live like that, they have this very uncomfortable feature, uncomfortable for the rest of the world. These are the people who love changing. And this is the place where I would like to address one of the biggest paradoxes in this universe. I'm talking about this material world where we are being judged by other people, when we are being assessed by other people and talked about by other people. People who love changes. You are people who love changes because you learn new stuff. People who love changes, these are the most energetically stable people that exist. Can you please acknowledge that? This is something that is not possible to squeeze in our minds because our minds are so analytic that they say change, no stability. No, it's exactly, it's the opposite. It's just the opposite. People who love changes, people who love expanding, people who love creating on a larger scale, people who want to learn new stuff, create new stuff, generate new stuff, people who love changes, I'm stressing that, these are the most energetically stable people. And that would be so great if you stopped judging yourself for you changing your mind, for you creating changes that other people do not like, for you just, you know, turning in those least, I would say, comfortable moments for people around you. Just do it. Just do your way. Do it your way. And I would say that, again, the energy of the English language is so inviting to you. It has invited you to something new because it touches all the languages, it touches all the continents, it touches all mentalities, it touches all nationalities, all other languages. I've been working in the translation world for many years, and whenever I was translating something into something, all those companies who deal with translations, who train translators, the main translation in the, sorry, I just have to take some, just wait a second. Sorry, I'm back. I just needed some electricity, some power. Power is back. Those companies who train translators, whatever you are observing there is that English is the center. All texts are translated into English. If you ask about offers of translators, it's like it's from German into English, from English into German. It's like English is always in the middle. It's like it's that crossroads for all the paths, all those energetic paths of other languages. So this is the language that is the most, I would say, diversified language in the world, because there are millions of accents, and still energetically the most stable language there is. And that's why you are being drawn to this. If you like changes, if you like transformations, if you like expansion, that should be your favorite language, really. Some time ago, when I thought about coming back to, let's say, teaching English, to the energy of the English language and working with people with it, I just asked myself, what will I be talking about to people? And the idea that showed up in my head was, I am talking about language energetics. I am talking about this sphere of linguistics. I've been studying applied linguistics, but it was very technical and it was very sophisticated and specialized. But I'm really glad that I have been studying that, because it gave me a lot of awarenesses, insights into this side of the language, but always something was missing. That's why I quit teaching for many years and then came back with this new perspective. So coming back to the questions on the group, some people were writing about that huge discomfort because of not understanding everything. And I know that it's really difficult to hear when somebody tells you, just listen, just be there. I know it's difficult. And at the same time, I know it's different. Because at school, teachers would tell you, learn this, memorize this. And I'm telling you, just be with it, just listen. And this is a huge difference. And just look what kind of commands you are giving yourselves when you come into contact with the language. Are you the teacher from the past, from that communistic era? Or are you the friend that comes and says, you know, just be here. You are a welcome guest. It's a difference. It's a huge difference, really. So look what kind of vibration you are introducing to your learning, and how are you setting the tone? How are you creating that climate? And when I was telling you many times about that good feeling place, I was serious. It was not a theory. It was not a joke. It's when you are not feeling well, just don't fucking do it, because it will kill you. Because the vibration of the English language is a potent stream of energy. So if you think that you do not like it, just don't do it. Just switch into Russian. So you know, it's do not become the block. People say, I've got blocks. No, I'm saying you are the fucking block, because you are just standing there with those crazy points of view that stop the potent stream of energy. And it must be painful. I'm really sorry for you. So what I want to just explain to you is that this is a very energetic place. Really, learning this language or being with this language is a very energetic place. That's why I started dealing with something that I call language energetics. Okay, I would like to address two more questions, and very pragmatic questions. Martina, you asked me about how to switch into that fast understanding mode, how not to pay attention to translation. And I would say, I'm sorry for being not very profound, stop paying attention to translation. It's that easy. But what I am doing, I can tell you what I am doing. I'm just telling myself that. I'm jumping into conversations with my head. And I'm just saying, you know what? I know you want to go there, but don't go there. Let's not pay attention to translation just now. And that's why the Language Gym project was created like that, to give your mind and to give your head some food for thought. That was the idea. That was those PDF files. So if I were you, really, I would start a day from just reading it and telling your head, here you go, this is your breakfast, then jumping into your universe. And because really when we come into contact with the language, our brain really spots stuff, really sees, notices things. And again, if you don't believe that, remind yourself about this. It's all right, my brain will do the job. It's all right, I will just give it. It's like a dog. It's like give the dog some food and it will be happy. So that's why I gave you those PDF files with beautiful translations. Thank you, translators, for translating that. And that's it. But it's not enough to give it. You have to kind of, I would say, acknowledge that verbally, that you're doing it, showing that you are in control. It's like, okay, now what I'm doing, I'm talking to myself a lot. My kids are used to it. Not everybody is, but I'm just doing it because it helps. I'm using words just to soften my universe. And I'm talking about those points of view that might come and disturb. And so what I would do is like, hey, here you go, this is your food. Now you can just analyze, you can arrange, rearrange, structure, play with it. So great. And because this job has been done, now I can jump into that vibrational zone. This is my paradise. And that's why we had those Facebook live transmissions. That's why I created those videos. That's why I was playing a DJ in the evenings. So basically, that is really fun to me. So that might mean that your intention is to have a little bit more fun in life. And if you go this direction, if you just, take this as your why, I promise you, all those learning moments will just be even more fun. And it will be just easier and easier and easier. So that formula for using this program to your advantage really is giving your brain some food for thought, and then jumping into your universe as an energetic being, and playing with it, test it, having fun, really using your body. Do you know people who do not use their bodies? Apart from very ill people who just lie in the beds. I'm talking about people who move. Do you know people who do not use their bodies? Some of them, yeah. Some of them use their bodies very little, really. And are they happy people? Not very much. usually those people who are very, I would say, stuck in their lives, they are the people who move very little. And I just now understand why I call this language gym, because it's all about movement. It's all about moving your muscles. And when the energy is flowing, it's easy. So really, if I were you, I would take those recordings and really, I would really go to the gym. I would go running. I would go cycling. I would go for a walk with the dog. I would just move and just listen to it while moving. Because it's all about letting the energy in and letting your body express it, nothing else. And then gradually, it will be a process. Gradually, your body will adjust to the new settings. And the goal is that your body will be easy with switching in to a new vibration and switching back to the vibration of your native language. And then maybe switching to a vibration to a different language. And those people who are really flexible in their minds, flexible in their thoughts, flexible with their bodies, these are the people who easily imitate the sound of different languages. Not necessarily speak those languages, but are really easy with imitating that. Like they can copy. And this is the ability that we are all having and not using. That's why what I would suggest, you've got a lot of material after these 10 days, a lot really. And again, if I were you, I would take these pieces of recordings and I would just play the game. I would listen and I would play as if I were a simultaneous translator. Now, when you look at Anna Maria or Dorota, their mouths are moving all the time because they are translating simultaneously. You can do the same, but just repeating what you're listening to. I am doing this always when I listen to something when I'm driving. When I listen to the English language, this is the habit of mine. That's why one of my abilities that I love is really copying the sound of anything that I like. Very important piece of information. I cannot copy something I don't like. I just reject this. And it's great. So in the past, I was copying fucking everything. And today I'm really selective. I am really selective. But I said to myself, I had that contract with me. I had that deal with myself, with my being. I am going to copy only stuff that I love. And I told my body, hey body, can you please copy things that we like together? Can we copy things that bring satisfaction? Can we copy things that are inspiring? Can we copy things that are really uplifting? And it's a deal. It's a deal. Martina asks, is that copied or do you make it to your own? Of course, everything. Thank you for the question. Great question. Everything that I copy is mine. And that's why there is the workshop I would so like to invite you to that I called English Owners. You have to own the fucking language. You have to own it. And when I was studying applied linguistics, very serious subject, I didn't understand at all. When I was studying that, I was writing my master's thesis, and the title was Differences Between the Language of Native Speakers and Non-Native Speakers. I was writing it for weeks, and I hated it because at the back of my mind, I was like, I am not different. I am not that horribly different from a native speaker. I'm using the same language. And I was writing a master's thesis on this. That was crazy because I was proving that the languages differ, knowing that they don't. It was a pain. I was really painful time in my life. But when I finally finished, I realized that now is the time not to become a native speaker, Now is the time to become the owner of the language that I'm speaking. And at the same time, or in the same way as you can become the owner of the English language, why wouldn't you become the owner of your native language that you are probably not in some situations? We sometimes quit on that power that we can have. And to go a step further, I would say, please become the owners of every communication act. Become the owner. When you enter the room, when you enter a conversation, when you just sit down face to face with someone, does not matter live or online, or, does not matter whether someone is close or very far away. When you just direct your attention to someone, please become the owner of the communication act. Become the owner of the conversation. And it's not about being selfish. It's not about being egocentric. It's not about being a prick. No, it's not. It's about you discovering your abilities and your power of influence. This is the gift we have all been given. This is the gift we have all received and not using. The power of influence is something that is as natural to you as breathing. Do you recognize the phrase, by the way? As natural as breathing. It is. We're just not using it. And it's crazy. I would say it's fucking crazy, because we should use that, because it's as natural as breathing to us. All of you are powerful beings not using your power to the full. And that workshop I am describing, it's a very special workshop to me, because it was haunting me for years. And in my mind, it was like, you must be crazy. Nobody will listen to it. When I was talking to people about this, people were saying, you're crazy. Nobody will listen to it. And so I even stopped talking about this. And one day I went to some beautiful area that I always go when I need some new fresh energy. It's a beautiful area in Poland at the lakes. And I always rent the same apartment with a beautiful view on the lake. And I'm so excited when I go to bed, because I know that when I wake up, I will have ready-made ideas for everything that I couldn't solve before I got there. And it always works. It always works. Whenever I wake up there in the same apartment with the same view on the lake, it's like, yay, I know. So, and these are those amazing moments where those inspiration come. And one day when I went there, I just woke up and I knew that I had to write something. And the idea came back. And the idea behind it is that every language, apart from having that linguistic structure that is being taught at universities, schools, language schools, etc., every language has its energetic structure too, has its energetic matrix, I would say, in a positive sense of the word. Every language can be perceived, seen, and experienced in that energetic field, in that energetic zone we are the center of. And I thought I was crazy, because I was feeling like a fish in the middle of an aquarium, because I was seeing the words around me. And I started drawing circles, and that was one circle, and then another circle, and then a bigger circle, and then I saw it makes some sense. It really makes some sense. And then what I was really aware of is that all those elements were moving. Language is moving all the time. The energy of the language is moving all the time. And we have a lot of elements we can use. These are those little manifestations of different energetic streams that we can just take. They are called words in this reality. And what I realize is that communication does not happen from here outwards. Communication happens from there. We have to just reach for it. And then it comes to us, and then we can produce it. So basically, communication acts are based on receiving. We are really good receivers. People will be telling you you are crappy at receiving, People will be telling you that you are blocked, that you are limited, that you have some unsolved relationships. Fuck them all, because actually the true thing is that you are perfect receivers. If you can say one word, that means you are perfect at receiving. Imagine that you will give yourself that information. Because I can say one word, does not matter what kind of word, including fuck. If I can say one word, that means I am perfect at receiving, because I can take the energy, I can translate it, and I can express it. And I'm not talking about verbal translation. I'm talking about translating energy into sound. Your speaking is translating energy into sound. You are all the masters of channeling. Do you know that? Do you know that? And you are not crazy. You are not crazy. You are all fucking channelers. You are channeling energy 24/7. You know, sometimes you channel in Polish, sometimes you channel in English, because this is how this reality looks, how it behaves, what it looks like. And it's great. And it's great. So what I am teaching, and not being a teacher, or being a teacher and not teaching, what I am sharing with people during the workshops is that they really can be that receiver of information, that translator of information, and that transmitter of information. And some people ask, where does that information come from? Where does it come from? And I say, it depends how you feel. It depends how you feel. Can you channel stupidity? Yes, you can. Can you channel pain? Yes, you can. Can you channel happiness? Yes, you can. Choice is yours. The universe is really so rich in energies. There is every corner of the universe is full of vibration. It's a vibrational universe. And you are the translator. You are just translating energy into experience. One of those experiences is speaking the language. And as I said, it's not about English language, German language, Italian language, Polish language, other language. It's also about the language of money. It's also about the language of love. It's also about the language of crime. It's also about the language of death. It's also about the language of life. It's all translating energy into experience. And those people who have mastered this ability, these are the potent creators who actually live a bit more global lives. And this is what I would like to invite you to. Actually, I want to invite you to have fun and lead a global life. And I'm not talking about creating businesses and being politicians and celebrities. You can translate energy into this too. I'm just talking about you being free to choose what you want to choose. This is what I'm saying. And you've got powerful tools that you can use that are easy. You don't need sophisticated methods. You don't need sophisticated techniques. You don't need anything that is so difficult. You've got the language. You've got the language that is the manifestation of you translating the energy into experience. It's powerful. It's powerful. The only thing you have to take care of is how you feel. And what is your foundational, what is your dominant energy that you are projecting as your life? And I must say that the English language is a catalyst, is a great effective catalyst for feeling good very quickly. If you are those people who love listening to good music, some songs, have you noticed that most of them are in English? I don't know, it's accident, I don't know. So, you know, life shows something. I mean, this universe shows something. Just let's use it. Let's use those things that are available. So I am obsessed with talking about availability of things, really. Some people come to me, I work with people, I help people in different, sometimes very difficult situations, and they come to me and they say, I don't have this one, I don't have that one, I cannot do this one. But usually people say, I don't have. I don't have this in my life and I want to have it. And in my mind, in my crazy mind, what shows up is everything is available. Everything is available. And I say, why am I having that in my mind? And they do not have that in their minds because they had been practicing that vibration for a long time. That's it. And my question is, what vibration do you want to practice from now on for the next 2 hours? Let's not talk about years. If you do this for 2 hours, if you practice a positive vibration for 2 hours, I will just congratulate you on the phone personally. And people say, what will I do in 10 years' time? Fuck off. Just what will you do in 2 next hours? What will your life be like in next 2 hours? Will you be happy for the next 2 hours? If you are going to be happy for the next 2 hours, I will call you and I will tell you, you're the master of happiness because you've been happy for 2 hours. Can you be happy for 2 hours? So I should call you personally and congratulate. What I am saying is that for me, talking to you on those evening podcasts, fucking happy for half an hour. It's a success. And my intention is to be infectious, you know? And I'm sure this is your intention too. Everybody, every being, I so believe that every being wants to be infectious with happiness. But not every being can do it. Why? Because not every being has been practicing that vibration long enough. That's why I invited you for 10-day program. So it's not about learning English. It's a side effect. It's a side effect. Very good one. Very positive one. It's a side effect, really. English is not important to me. I like it. And if you change your vibrational foundation, it will go smoothly. If you would like to, continue that journey, we will have the next 10-day training. This time it will be paid training. It's a 60 euro training. I don't know if it's a lot or not. It's like 6 euros a day. I don't know, if you buy ice cream or coffee from time to time. So I don't know if it's expensive or not. So I would be honored to have you there and to, continue that adventure with you and to be even better DJ in the evening. So that would be so fantastic. And to all of you who decide to buy the next language and training, I would like to offer something. I would like to invite you to this 1-day online training that I call Language Owners, not for 210 euros. It's a regular price. I would like to invite you to that training just for 75 euros. So 135 is the price for the language gym and 1-day training Language Owners that is all about that energetic structure of the language that is being manifested as grammar in this reality. So if you want to stop your, let's say, discomforts and problems with grammar, with the structure of the language, I will be happy to welcome you in that 1-day training. We have hundreds of people who have finished the training already. So I hope that those old trainees will come back just to say hello and experience that energy. So that will be so great. And those of you who would like one day to jump into a little bit deeper waters, I would be really glad to welcome you at the 4-day training that we call Talk Global. That is a mixture of mastering energetic communication, mastering the language of money, mastering the English language, like really expressing yourself freely and self-presenting yourself beyond all boundaries. As I would say, nationality-less being. like the being really beyond nationality. And this is how I see myself. I see myself as a global being. And I think, I'm sure actually, that all my problems in my life in the past, and I had many of those really, I was a really unhappy person. All those problems were because I was not wanting to jump into this a bit more global life that was waiting for me and inviting me and shouting to me and shaking me and torturing me and molesting me to notice it for many years. So it really was painful. It is sometimes painful today, especially when new possibilities come. But today, I'm not staying there for more than 10 minutes. I just welcome all these moments like this voice from heaven, like, hello, something new has been prepared for you. Something new is just waiting for you. Some new possibilities, new money, new acquaintances, new people, new meetings, new. The new is under your feet. Just take the fucking step. Otherwise, I will kill you. So this is basically what my life looks like. I love my life. I really love what's happening. And to be really honest, sometimes it's not easy. We are all in the universe of contrast. We are all in the universe where challenges show up. We are all there. It does not matter whether someone is a YouTuber or a celebrity or a politician. All of us on this planet, all of us experience different vibrations and energies and different situations. And because of those, we create. And it's fabulous. It's really great. So it really does not matter what you do. It really does not matter how good you are at the English language. What really matters is whether you want to live and whether you want to live a happy life that maybe is full of challenges, but it still is a happy life. Do you have any more questions? We will be closing our debate today. But please, if you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them.
Eliza, ja mam pytanie, bo nie usłyszałam tych cen. English Owner 75 euro, ale to jest zniżka z jakiej ceny, bo tego nie usłyszałam.
To jest 210.
210, dobra.
Tak. Natomiast ta zniżka jest dla wszystkich, którzy kupią Language Gyma. I do tego Language Gyma
tego
najbliższego, tak, 135 euro to jest cena za Gyma i za jednodniowe warsztaty.
Dobra. Okay.
Do you have any more questions? Have you noticed how the vibration changes when I switch into Polish? I am someone different in that language, really. And I love this about languages. And my body switches into a different vibration instantaneously. And really, I see differently. I perceive my space differently. I create in a different way. It's all different. And this is what I love about switching from one language to another. And it's a thing that you can practice and you can use in your life. I am using the language as a tool that helps me create, change, and transform. Okay, we have a question. Oh, we have 2 comments. Thank you. To receive more information and prepare yourself for receiving, would you articulate the wishes in English using the energy of the English language? Of course, I'm doing that. Whenever I want to create something and actually start the path towards some manifestation, towards some goal that I really want to achieve, many times I switch into English in my mind. Even I start thinking that language, but what works really well, because I am based in Poland mainly. My wardrobe is in Poland, and when I'm creating something, I usually use the mix of languages, because actually many things I want to manifest in Poland too. So I cannot eliminate this energy, because this energy can be really supportive and nurturing too, if I work on it. But really English is a contribution, but I never forget about that Polish component either. So it's both are really helpful. I will ask Yola's question too. Yola asked me about the brain, and thank you for the question. It's a great question. This is the debate on humans' brain, has been going on for ages. So what I can say is only what I can perceive and receive, the information that I have access to. My knowing about the brain is that really it's like that central point where all the paths are crossing. And it's like that controlling headquarters where the information is received and sent out, some people call the brain or the mind the container for data. It's not. And when I saw those floating pieces of something that I just realized were the words, I realized that the container for data is the space we are. And thanks to the brain that is really an amazing creature of ours, we can kind of deal with all this data. That's why I decided to start communicating with my brain. And that's why I'm talking to myself. So many times I'm talking to my brain. I'm talking to my mind, to all those mental universes that I am in from time to time. Sometimes I'm not there. Okay, any more questions? Anybody has a question about anything, actually? We've touched a lot of subjects. Okay, thank you. So answering once more the question that Martina has asked, what really helps with not being disturbed by that desire to translate everything, really that exercise, that activity of being that simultaneous repeater of the signal is great, because you kind of switch into a different mode together with your mind. So your mind knows, your mind is trained to that new mode that whenever you hear the English language, it starts repeating. And it's great because it's the most effective way to not to waste time. So whenever the English language is on, your mind starts repeating. So this is what I am doing, and it's kind of automatic. That's why the language that I'm using flows. I'm used to the flow of energy with the settings that make it possible for me to sound the way I like. So what I can suggest is to all of you is look for the sound that you like. And don't worry about how many words you know. If you find the sound that you like, you will want more and more words to have more material to practice. But first you have to get to the place where you will want to do it. Now it's like, oh my God, I don't know enough, pieces of vocabulary, and I don't sound really well. So, it's not the good platform to start from. Natalia wants to unmute herself to ask a question. Yes, we can unmute you. Agnieszka, can you unmute Natalia? Just wait a second. Where is Agnieszka? Agnieszka, where are you? I will try to do that.
Oh, hello.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
you're
there.
Yeah,
yes.
Actually, I'm doing it only because it's a huge challenge for myself to speak in English in a public place. And right. I think I've missed something because maybe I didn't listen to you carefully, but I wanted to ask if there will be some grammar classes or...
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the grammar will be in PDF probably, right?
Oh, that's a very good question. It's so difficult to put this on the PDF file.
Yeah, right.
Because it's grammar in space. I call it grammar in space. You will get materials that are written down. You will have a lot of pictures. And you will have that idea how this is constructed. But basically what we will be doing, we will be practicing that in space, so that universe, that structure of the language actually stays with you. Not on paper, but with you at all times. So you will be able to switch into it and use data from that huge container.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You are very funny.
Thank you. I like being funny. So thank you for you speaking to us in public. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, so great. Mm-hmm.
First step.
Yeah, first steps are really important, really. Okay, Yola is writing, the place where I love the sound of my own voice, that would be very great. Yes, this is really great. And sometimes I was running one workshop in France, and there was one day, it was a 4-day workshop, and the day one, we used only one sentence. People were fucking angry at me. And they were, oh shit, we had 4 days and the language is so huge. Why don't you teach us vocabulary? And I said, I'm not teaching you. I have not come here to teach you. And they were like, not teach? So what are you doing here? And I said, I don't know yet, but I will do my best for you to feel good. And you know, the point was that I really wanted to lead people to the place where they were feeling good with the language. And sometimes it's so much easier with one word, one sentence. Without reaching this level, without reaching this foundation, you don't have foundation. If you don't have foundation, you're just wobbly. If you're wobbly, you're not confident. If you're not confident, you don't like yourself. If you don't like yourself, you're a crappy speaker. So, you know, this is kind of, it's even logical, you know, it's even logical to create that solid foundation. I'm calling it energetic stability. You have to find your energetic stability with the English language. It's emotional stability, it's mental stability. You have to be in the space where your thoughts are not killing you. You have to find the place where your emotions are not paralyzing you. You have to find the place where you actually like yourself, like the way you speak, like the way you sound, like the way you move, love your body, love yourself, want to live, are happy. That's it. And then you can learn English, you can learn fucking Chinese, you can learn anything, and you can not learn anything and you will still be learning something. You know? Okay, any more questions? All right. So that was a pleasure. Thank you very much. That was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for joining these 10 days. Whether we meet or not in the future, I'm really grateful. And I know that that was the seed planted that will grow in your universes. And definitely what you will find on the way is some more good feeling places. So have a phenomenal life. And I hope to see you somewhere in the world. Thank you very much and bye-bye.